What's good people? Coming on today to talk to you guys about some stuff that you will need. So stay tuned. I'm going to upload this to my Instagram as well as to my YouTube. So for YouTube, if you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Instagram, I already know, that y'all are going to get this and enjoy it, okay? Because I'm bringing on some essential enlightenments, okay? So just stay tuned. I was going to say be aware, but I think I want to use the word stay tuned because I'm going to share some things that's going to help you navigate your 2023, okay? Navigate your 2023. Okay, so before we get into it, I just want to make sure that I'm cleansing this space, okay? Because I want to make sure that I'm bringing some of the highest, most greatest, goodest, bestest vibrations, okay? Because I want to make sure that the things that I share with you today are insightful, enlightening, empowering, okay? And things that you can use, okay? Y'all know I don't come on here talking no jive. I'm not a jive turkey. So when I come on, I'm coming on because it is my deepest desires that I'm sharing things with who it's for. Because, my messages are not for everybody. But I'm sharing things with you guys that could help you understand, right? Help you understand. So those of you who know, and those of you who don't, that's okay, because I'm not for everybody. I've often said that I'm not for everybody. I'm not everybody's, spiritualist, okay? So if you see me looking down, I do have a few notes. I normally don't take notes. I normally just, pull straight from the dome. But today I wanted to stay on topic because I have some set things that I want to discuss with you guys. So, yeah, pull up your chair, and chill, vibe out with me. For those of you on Instagram, it's only going to be 15 minutes. Instagram doesn't give us longer than 15 minutes with these type of vids unless I go live. And I just don't. Somebody asked me why I don't go live. I feel something sinister when I go live. To be honest, it feels like something is watching me. I feel like I'm being watched by some very diabolical eyes. So I don't feel comfortable when I go live, okay? And I'm sure those same eyes, could be watching even when I, record and then upload. But I can feel the intensity of the energy when I'm live. Like there's some type of overshadow or overcast. But anyway, won't get off into all of that. I honor what I know and what I feel, and I don't do stuff that makes me feel uncomfortable. So going live isn't for me. So for those of you who have asked me, on Instagram, that's why. So first and foremost, guys and girls, okay, you all, gods and goddesses, wintertime is upon us, okay? And if you don't know, okay, winter time is a time of hibernation. It's a time of relaxation. It's a time of rejuvenation. So there's not a lot of work that needs to be done during the winter time, okay? The winter time is a time of reflection. What you want to do is while you are relaxing and taking a break, preparing for the spring forward, preparing for the spring equinox that comes in March, okay, when you're supposed to get back in the game, okay, while you're relaxing, while you're in hibernation, rejuvenation mode, you can begin to think about the things, okay, because this is a season of thinking, not doing. This is not an action-oriented month. This is a retreat, which means pull back and go into think tank mode, okay? And relaxing your physical body, okay? And relaxing your powers, relaxing your magic right now, okay? So what are the things that you can think about? What are the things that the winter energies bring about? What are the thoughts? The renewal and the recharging of your personal power, okay? That can range from your goals, your plans, things that you want to manifest for the next season. You can think about how you want to redo or reinvent yourself. It's even a good time to think about the different spells and magic that you plan on inserting for the new season, whether it be a binding spell, whether it be a love jar, whether it be creating a new altar or cleaning off an altar and maybe redesigning it, so to speak. All these things are things that you are to think about, cerebral power, cerebral magic, while you're resting and relaxing and rejuvenating. This is not a power-filled season. Okay, this is the time to rest. Okay, the fall season, the fall equinox that we experienced in September was the preparation of the rest. Okay, so just to put it in like a, for instances, you know, when you're getting ready to go to bed, before you actually go to bed, it's things that you do. Some people take a shower, some people brush their teeth. You know, women get their hair together, put their bonnets on. Somebody might sip some chamomile tea. The preparation before you actually go to bed and sleep or rest, right? Well, that's the same with the fall into the winter. The fall season is the preparation before the rest. We've entered into the rest. The rest came on the winter solstice, December 21st, when we entered into Capricorn season, okay? I made the video, and I didn't post it on YouTube. I did post it on Instagram, called Retreat. Okay. I did a reading, and the reading was just pretty much about retreating. Okay. Because there are things there are seeds that you planted. There are things that you're wanting to do, that you're wanting to bring into fruition for the next season. And you must fall back from some stuff because you're going to be tested. And if you're distracted when those tests come, you're gonna fail. So that was what that video was about. Or not necessarily fail, but you'll just kind of get tripped up. You may fumble your blessing. You may fumble the seed. Okay, so that's what that video was about. And it all ties into what I'm speaking about today. Okay, the things that we are to do during the winter time. When it comes to the energy of winter, winter is not strong. Winter is actually compared to an old man or an old lady. Old man winter, old lady winter, the crone, the sage. Okay, that's the elder. Okay, that's the elder of the seasons. So when we go into elder season, winter season, when you think about the elders in your family, are they plotting and planning and moving? No, a lot of times they got their favorite chairs or their favorite little comfort areas, and they chilling. Okay, they chilling because that's the season of their life that they're in. Well, we go through that exact same seasonal season throughout the year, and that's where we have arrived. So again, the renewal thing, the rejuvenation of the renewal. Okay, this season is used to rest and think about what you want to see come in later on when the new season comes in. We'll go into Aquarius January 22nd, 21st, 22nd, and that's also another season of, because it's ruled by Uranus and Saturn. It's almost, that's one of those, you become very creative and inventive. Okay, the things that you're going to think about, the plans and the goals and how you want to manifest in Capricorn season. Okay, once we go over into Aquarius season, that's when your think tank begins to execute how it's going to be done. So Aquarius season is when you want to start to make those vision boards. Okay, a lot of people do vision boards on the first of the year for the new year, new me. The what's that word called? The New Year's resolution. Yeah. A lot of people make their vision boards during that time, and that's fine too. Okay, because collectively, as the human race, we all agreed that January 1st was the beginning of the new year. So for that purpose only, energetically, New Year's is January 1st, but we have a few different New Years, okay? And I've spoken on this before. We have the agreed human contract that January 1st is the new year. We have the seasonal new year, which is actually spring equinox, when we go into Aries season, when we go into spring. And then everybody has a personal new year, which is your birthday. So you have 3 opportunities, okay, to get in alignment with newness, okay? And I'll come back on at another time and speak more in depth about that, okay? But right now I wanted to just stay focused on the different seasons that we're in. So the winter season, going into Aquarius season, which will still be winter season, but it's the inventative part of the winter season, okay? Not Capricorn retreat and think. It's Aquarian. Your mind is expanding, okay? Your ability to create, okay, because you've come out of retreat and you're kind of standing back and looking like, oh, okay, so this is what I can do, or this is what I should do, and you can begin to execute it through thought. Okay, executed through thought. Once we go into Pisces season, which is the last of the zodiac wheel, okay, because you start a whole new house. And I know I may be losing some of you guys, especially if you're not well versed in astrology or when it comes to your own personal natal charts, okay? So get with me, book me, schedule me for a spiritual chat if you want to go a little deeper as far as your own personal natal charts and stuff is concerned. But I'm just kind of giving you guys a little brief on how this thing goes, because Pisces season is the end all before you go into your new all, okay? So anyway, I don't want to spend too much more time on that. Just know that there is a process. It's levels to this, y'all. It's levels to it, okay? And a lot of times, if you don't understand the levels, and if you don't flow with the levels, if you don't move when the seasons move, people who begin to feel that I'm being dragged, or I'm stuck, or I'm feeling out of alignment, that's why, because you don't understand the shifts. So you kind of got a jet lag, so to speak, okay? So I hope so far this has been helpful to you guys, and kind of giving you some insight on what you should be doing now on into the next 60 days, okay? So that was one of the things that I want to speak about, the energy of winter and how to use it. And I will briefly go back to as far as your magic is concerned, your magic. So, good magic that can be done right now, because magic can be done. Spells and rituals can be done. They just don't need to be energetic. Like I would not recommend doing anything with fire right now. We're not in the season of fire. We're not in the element of fire. And there's nothing to power firepower right now. Okay. You may actually burn yourself or something, or burn your manifestation. Okay. It may not work out in your favor. So fire, which means action, which means something very energetic being done or planned, it's just not the time for that. Okay, it's not the time for that. What this season calls for right now is maybe more planting and patience while you are relaxing and rejuvenating. Okay, so you could do you could plant, like literally plant, like get a plant. Go buy an actual indoor plant, okay? And begin to do your plant magic, as far as, for those of you who know how to do, planting, writing, same thing, planting a seed, planting it in a potted flower in your home, and just leaving it there. Putting it in the dark, putting it under the earth, putting it, in the dirt. Okay, and allowing it to rest and grow. Okay, this season calls for patience. There is nothing coming expediently right now. This isn't the season for that. Okay, so another thing that can be done, and I already mentioned it, but you can begin to work on it, not complete it, but just work on it, which is your vision boards. Okay, now is the time to be cutting out things out of books and magazines and pasting and, getting it together. Like I said, not necessarily completing it. The completion of it could be by the time Pisces season is over. You should have a full, complete vision board on how you want to see Aries season on into the ending part of 2023. Okay, so this is going with the flow of the universe, going with the flow of the galactic powers. Okay, I know a lot of you may not believe what I believe, and that's fine. I'm not here to make you believe anything. I'm here to make you think. I'm here to make you research. I'm here to make you tap into your own power, your own understandings, okay? Sometimes people can plant a seed and it may not produce the same flower or the same greenery that person has, but what it does, it helps you grow your own. And see, I'm just here to help you grow your own. You can't be me. You can't think like me, because I'm the only me here and you're the only you here. So what you produce is going to be indicative and representative of you, okay? But sometimes we can kind of lean in and, bump one another, okay? Connect and help others, help their shrubs and greeneries and flowers and blooms grow, right? So that's what I'm here to do. I've often said that, I'm here to help, okay, those who are in alignment with who I am and how I am, okay? So another thing, number 2. As you all see, I am soft in my royalty, okay? I love, love, love when my goddess energy comes out. She's not here every day, okay? I don't always walk in her. And for those of you who follow me, you know this, okay? Sometimes I'm moving in witch. There's a season and a time for witch. Sometimes I'm moving in fairy, okay? Sometimes I'm moving in warrior, okay? And for those of you who have followed me, you see this. You see, especially if you watch. I mean, I'm not saying, ooh, I am someone to be watched, but there are a few of you who have been with me since day one, okay? Since I, put my life, okay, or my journey on Instagram, okay, or on YouTube. I haven't been on YouTube as long as I've been on Instagram. So more so my Instagram followers. So you can tell when I shift, because I don't hide my shifts. I'm very transparent with my shifts. Okay. So, because I think it's beautiful. I love the way that I'm able to flow in and out of my energies. Okay. My dark and my light, my highs and my lows. So anyway, I'm goddessy. I'm feeling it. Okay. So I get into character. I turn on my archetype energy. Okay, and I move in it effortlessly, okay? So that was another thing that I wanted to address. Those of you who are on this journey and you are wanting to find out, who are you? Who am I? Who do I resemble? And when I say who, I'm not talking about your mom, your dad, your family, am I like ain't married? None of that matters. Well, let me take that back. I don't want to jump the gun. I'm not saying that doesn't matter, because if you have an auntie that you resonate with, an uncle, a great-great-grandfather, by all means, if you didn't know them, find out about them as much as you can and connect to their energy. But I'm telling you, a more ancient, a more sacred archetypal energy is upon us, okay? And you feel it. You know it. I've always known that I was a goddess queen type energy. Always. This isn't new. I'm just now getting into character within the last 6-7 years, okay? But way back, I've always known who, okay, I was, okay? So, and then you keep on learning. You don't find out who and then, oh, that's it. Oh, no, it's so many doors that you continue to go to, okay, and go through. So, tapping into your divine energy, be it divine feminine, be it divine masculine, for my fellas that may catch this video. Remember who you are. Recollect that energy. Now, not everybody is goddess. Not everybody is God. Like I said, some people are straight up warrior energies. Okay, they come out beating the chest. And that's who they are. They're tribal kings, tribal queens, tribal gods, tribal goddesses, okay? Because not every god and every goddess is poised and regal and, okay? Not everybody's astute, okay? Some gods were gangster and some goddesses were savage, okay? So it's all about knowing who you are. Tapping into your energy, okay? Read, y'all. And not only read, trust what you show you. If you are a dreamer, I guarantee you, you've already dreamed of your higher self, as well as your lower self, but you just thought it was a dream. You discounted it. And that was your fault. Never discount what you show you. Never discount that. If you've had dreams that you were once a bum, guess what? You were. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to recollect that energy and become a bum, but honor that record of you that once lived that life. Because, see, that probably has something to do with the life you're living now. Don't discount no versions of you. Don't discount no versions of you. Every version of you that you see, be it dream, be it imagination, is imperative for where you are now. Okay? You cannot forget the past. You cannot, even if it's an unfamiliar past. Okay? You've lived longer than the time that you've been here on earth. You've been here many, 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 many times. And if you've had the epiphanies and the deja vu moments of past lives, if your higher self has decided that it is time for you to recollect that it's for a reason. Okay, so not only reading, the reason I said read is because if you don't know the other energies and the other pantheons and the other archetypes and the other energies that were here before us, then you won't have a good, what's the word I want to use? You won't have a good understanding. You just won't have a good understanding of what all makes you you. We've all been here before. We've all been several different things. And sometimes you can connect to a person, place, or thing, and you get this familiar feeling, okay? And you're like, oh, I resonate with that. That's a kindred spirit, okay? I've been there before, or I've been around this person before, or I've been that person before, okay? So all of those little moments of past life experience, they come in so many different ways. And I talked about the Akashic records, but if I get on that, it'll throw me off and it's not a part of my notes. But I'm going to come on one day. I have so many things I'd be wanting to come on and talk to y'all in depth about, but I just don't be having the time. But the Akashic records is very, very important. We all have access to it. Some have more access than others. Some haven't tapped into the access yet because your higher self knows that you don't trust it. Your higher self knows that you don't believe it. So it can't, people can only rise to the level that they're at. And your higher self is not going to let you go any higher until you raise your consciousness. Because what'll happen is if it's just like when somebody tries to come to you and present to you something that you don't understand, so you become fearful, defensive, you don't believe it, you knock it, right? Well, that's exactly what happens when spirit tries to bring you in alignment with some higher enlightenment and you're not ready, then you get scared. So what spirit says is we're not, until this human shows us that they are ready for the next level, we have to keep them there. Okay, so get ready. A lot of y'all are on the hamster wheel of life because you don't believe. Okay, so you're holding up your own process and you're holding up your own progress. I don't know how to tell people to believe. That's an individual process. Because saving thyself is an individual process. So I wish I did have the formula on how to tell somebody to believe. I wish I could just snap my fingers, boom. I wish that I could regress somebody and then bring them all the way back to the present. And when they awaken, they believe. But it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. In my experience, you have to go through some things. In my experience, you have to witness some things. Some paranormal activity has to happen. Some miraculous things have to happen. Your own magic has to work for you to be like, oh. Then you start having these awakening moments, okay? But so many of you don't even get to that point because you move in fear. And let me tell you something about fear. It's the work of the enemy. If you were to ever wake up and find out who you are, Oh boy, the power that you would have. And let me tell you something. Some of you were not good people. So there's a soul inside of you that doesn't want you to remember who you were, because I feel like if, and this is my personal opinion, but I'm sure it's truth, because one thing about my spirit, it doesn't allow me to make up lies. It doesn't allow me to have a thought that isn't conducive to the collective. So I'm probably 99.9% correct with what I'm about to say. But because some of you were not good people in the past, there is a part of your soul that doesn't want you to remember that, because if you remembered the things that you did and what you were, it would knock you off of your high horse that you're probably on in this realm, and it would just ruin you. And see, the ego, because the ego is the part of the soul, okay? The soul has a light and a dark side. The ego is the dark side. Your ego doesn't want you to become humble. Some of you guys were murderers and rapists. Not everybody was a god and a goddess. Some of you guys killed, pillaged. Some of, because we've all done and been everything, okay? So the only reason I brought that up is because for some of you, that stuck feeling that you're feeling, you may want to elevate, but there is another side of your soul that knows if you remember the wrong thing, it really happened, but it doesn't want you to connect back to that part of your Akashic record, because then you will no longer feed the ego that you have now. Some of these people that are running around here rich, and I won't mention any names, but there's two particular male celebrities that I know were terrible in past lives, because I can tell how they're operating in this life and how immense their wealth is and how they operate their wealth. And some of the things that I've seen them say and do in interviews, my spirit is already showing me who they were and what they were in past lives, because they brought remnants of it back into this life. Anyway, but it would, if they knew, and hey, they may know. They may know everything that I'm saying, because sometimes these celebrities, they can act dumb, but they be very well enlightened metaphysically and from an occultic standpoint. But anyway, let me just keep it to the local, the underdogs, just the regular, basic, normal people like me and you. Some of us were not good things, and your ego knows that. So it doesn't allow you to tap back into that, because it'll kill your ego. And ego fights to stay alive. Ego doesn't want you to be humble. Ego doesn't want you to be apologetic. Ego doesn't want you to show immense gratitude for where you are or who you are now. It wants you to be cocky and dogmatic and bitch what? Excuse my French. It wants you to remain that. And the only way it can make you remain that is to not show you what you used to be. Anyway, and when I say what you used to be, I ain't talking about what you used to be in this life, what you used to be in a past life. Because see, you can overcome and overpower what you used to be in this life. What you were when you were 16, 15, that's nothing, because we're here to grow. We all are evolving here, and we have memory, and we can recollect that easily. But if you were shown in a past life that you killed babies, how would the you in this realm handle that? If you were shown that you were a rapist, if you were shown that you, name it, how would your ego deal with that in this realm today? So for some of you, it's a protected. And for some of you, it just ain't hit you yet. And for some of you, it has. For some of you, you've had dreams of doing some terrible things. It was you. It wasn't a dream. You did it. So anyway, tapping into thyself. One thing that I know beyond the shadow of a doubt is that we haven't done much changing as far as who we are, our personalities. So you can kind of tell who you were in many of your past lives based on how and who you are today. Okay? Because we don't walk around sharing our most deepest, darkest thoughts. Okay? We don't. Nobody does. Well, other than Stephen King. He's he lets it be known, but most people don't walk around writing and making movies and talking about what they were and who they are and how they think in their most deepest thoughts. Okay? But you know, because it's your thought. Okay? It's your thought. So you can tell by how you move right now what you were, what you were capable of, some of the things that you probably did, even if you haven't had any dreams about it. Watch how you moving right now is enough to know, oh, okay. Especially something that you feel really deeply about. That didn't just happen in this life. Okay? That you didn't, that was a momentum that was built. Okay? How you feel about it, the magnitude of how you feel about certain things in this life didn't just grow in this life. It's been coming. It was a snowball effect that made you feel how deeply you feel about that thing, whatever it is. It's been building. It's been being built. So go into thyself, y'all. That's all. I said all of that to say, go into thyself. And don't be afraid of what you see. Even if it does show you something that is, oh my, be willing to face that. It was you. And I've often said we are our own problem, but we're also our own solution. So you can make peace with things when you face it, no matter how dirty and dark it was. You can make peace with it. You can own it, you know? You can own it and you can say, okay, well, yeah, I probably did do that in a past life. Either I learned from it or I've leveled up from that, or I still have it in me if I ever need to do it again, or, oh, that's why I don't do that. And I've started these charities and these foundations. And that's why I'm so soft-hearted now in this life because of some things that I know I did in a past life. You understand? Y'all understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it's there's no level of yourself that you should be afraid of. I was counseling a young lady who said she looked in the mirror and she saw a version of herself that she didn't like, and she said it looked chaotic. And she did connect. She did say it reminded her of something that she saw on a movie before. I can't remember what movie it was, but I just know she said she felt like it was a chaotic, like a possessed look when she saw in the mirror. And I told her, well, it was you. That was probably a past life, past version of yourself. It was you. And let me tell you something, too. I'm going to go deeper. Because we haven't always been in this realm. We live in other realms, past and present. We reside right now in parallel universes. So some of the things you see in your dreams in a mirror, not all of it is past life. Some of it is right now because we reside in other dimensions and in other realms and other planes of existence. And depending on where you are on your level of spirituality, sometimes your other self meets your other self. And it ain't all cookies and cream. So anyway, I remember that's what I was telling her. You know, you saw another version of yourself that is complete opposite of who you are in this realm. Now, I am a true believer of mirror work. I'm pointing mirror because I have a mirror sitting right in front of me. I'm a true believer of mirror work. I like it. I love all versions of myself. Okay? I work with all versions of myself. I don't know if I've seen all the versions of myself, but I've seen quite a few. And I made peace with the ones that I didn't like. And of course, I embody the ones that I do. But I embody the ones that I don't. I don't shun my darkness. I do not. I appreciate the evolution of my soul and all that it has encountered, okay? So, and that takes time. That's not something that you can just jump into and immediately grasp. It takes time. I've been on this journey a long, long time. Okay, a long time. So it takes many, 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 many years and many cycles and many phases to begin to understand what I understand. Okay, and then I'm sure there's things that I won't tap into and learn this lifetime. Okay, there may be things that I have to come back and do. I don't think you ever have to do anything all over again. I think you pick up where you left off. Okay. Now, now there are some people that don't agree with that. And that's their prerogative. They can choose to believe what they believe, just like I, choose to believe what I believe. You don't start all over. I think the only people that may start all over are people who are murdered or killed when they're children. So, and even then, they don't start all over. Whatever information and enlightenment they gained up until the day that they departed or transitioned, until they decide to reincarnate. When they reincarnate, they're going to come back with the level of consciousness that they left with. That's why it's important to feed your brain, because they can take your physical, they can't do shit with your spirit and your mind. What you know. They cannot take your consciousness. Despite what other people may say, they can't take that. I don't care what they try to do. I don't care. I know that there are mad scientists right now that are taking the consciousness of this and taking the consciousness of that and putting it in this and putting it in that. And I believe they're able to do that to the unconscious people, the unaware, the unenlightened. If you die enlightened, they can't fuck with your consciousness. And I'm going to digress on that and go right on into the next thing, which is stop being afraid and spooked out by things that you don't understand. You're only putting yourself further and further and further and further back. Fear is the enemy. Understand that it doesn't want you. Whatever you're scared of, it don't want you. It's something about that thing that you probably need to know. So it poses itself, the enemy will pose itself as a fear, so you won't get understanding of that thing, because there's something about it that you need to know. That's the only thing fear is. What's the acronym? I don't even really like that acronym. False evidence appearing real. I mean, I guess, whatever, but I got a deeper understanding of what fears are. And it really is, if I was afraid of this lighter, and every time I saw lighter, as crazy as it's going to sound, there is probably something in this lighter that I need to move me to the next level. Some understanding of this spider. And that's crazy. And I'm not afraid of spiders. And this might be talking to somebody who has a fear of spiders, snakes, cockroaches, cats, dogs, bears, whatever. I'm not telling you to go and hold the lighter, but I'm saying research something that you are afraid of, because there's something in it that you need. There's some information. It could just be one little piece of a particle of information that you need, okay, that will help level you up to the next thing. Stop being scared. Secondly, as far as this fear thing is concerned, stop talking to other people who are spooky and spooked out. Not spooky, but spooked out. I heard a conversation in the store. It was two people, and they were talking about the dreams that they had. And when I'm out and about, I hear stuff, and Lord, the practitioner and the teacher and me be wanting to bust them, and I'm like, I don't know them people. Tend to your black ass business and keep going. But I heard two people on this aisle. They were talking about dreams. I guess they were a couple. It was two ladies, and they seemed like intimate. And she was talking about the dream that she had as they was picking up stuff. And her partner, or the other lady, was just like, you and these weird dreams, you need to stop having weird dreams. Every time you tell me about your weird dream, I have a weird dream, and then we both having weird dreams. And I was just on that aisle, and my soul was screaming, because I'm like, no. Because what happens is, you tell somebody who's unenlightened, unintelligent, unconscious, unawakened, you tell people stuff that are fearful just like you. And it's almost like the blind leading the blind. Y'all just throwing a dumb ball back and forth to one another. Stop talking to people who are either where you at or even lower. When you need understanding about something you don't understand, go to a guru. Go to somebody who that's their expertise. Start watching stuff videos and lectures and documentaries of people that know what it is that you're experiencing. Don't talk to another person who's dead and dumb. You'll never get understanding. And I noticed that that's a lot. I noticed that a lot. People do that a lot. And the fact that I just ran up on that conversation in that aisle, like I said, my soul just wanted to say, stop talking to your partner. Y'all can talk about other things, but because I could tell that the lady who had the dream, she was really concerned. She was like, and I, such and such and such and such and such. And like I said, her partner or the lady was just like, stop, you're having these weird dreams and I'm thinking she got no answer from her partner. No understanding, no enlightenment, no inspiration, no nothing. So you still at square one. Your dream was trying to tell you something, but you told it to somebody who was just as dumb and unaware as you. So anyway, that was just an example on how unconsciousness can bounce back and forth, with other people that are unconscious. You don't want to talk to people who don't know. And I'm not saying surround yourself, but sometimes, if you're not ready for that level of consciousness, surrounding yourself around them people may it's a word. I was going to say overpower, but it's not overpower you. It will, you just have a surge of information that you're not prepared for. So you'll tap out. You'll tap out. Too much energy going into an outlet that's not powered up and prepared for that type of energy. And you'll So anyway, the whole purpose is, if you are having paranormal experiences, if you are experiencing dreams and just spiritual things are happening, reach out to people who you feel like are in alignment with, and not even reach, because you might not even understand what that means. Start watching vids and go on YouTube, Google, Instagram. I mean, we are in we're in the meta now. So there is always going to be someone somewhere on this thing, on social media, okay, that you'll be able to connect with to get help. Now, of course, do your homework, do your research. Don't just reach out to the first person you see. Make sure that, because your soul will tell you, lean in on that person. That person know what they're talking about. Y'all kind of got some similar vibes. They're talking about things that, that you've experienced. Don't just jump to the first person. Now, that'll be idiotical on your end if you just start reaching out to random people that you think are spiritual. No, do your homework. Watch a few of their videos. And then if you're led to lean in. Get understanding. In all of your getting, get understanding. Stop moving in fear. Just because you fear something, also, this is another thing that I notice with people who are not completely awakened. If they're afraid of it, they don't want to believe it, and then they'll try to contest it and argue with people about it, to like it's not true. Just because you're scared of something, just because you don't understand something, just because you're ignorant, doesn't make it untrue. And truth doesn't need you to agree with it. Truth doesn't need you to believe in it. Truth is solid. I can never say this word. Truth is a solitaire energy. It doesn't need anybody or anything to confirm it. It is what it is. Okay. All right. So let's see. I've pretty much touched on everything. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I talked about the renewal of your personal contracts. I'll go into that just a little deeper too. The renewal of your personal contracts. Very similar to the vision boards or the spells and the rituals. I personally, during certain cosmic events, most definitely my birthday, most definitely the seasonal New Year, I write myself personal contracts. Meaning, I tell myself what I'm going to do and I hold myself to it. And then I sign it. I might nick my finger and put a little dot of blood. Okay? Because I'm responsible for my life. And only I, okay, can make the changes and make the things happen that I want to happen. Like I started this video by saying, I think I said it in the beginning. What am I, 45 minutes in? But I think I said this, that we're all the captains of our own ship. So a man thinketh, so it is. So a woman thinketh, so it is. So a man doeth, so it is. So a woman doeth, so it is. We control this shit. You don't control nobody else's. And when you do, you know, now, because, you know, we know that, you know, hexes and jinxes and black magic is real. It is real. However, you're more prone to having all the control of fucking up your own life more than you do somebody else's. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. So don't put a lot of energy toward messing up somebody else's. Okay. Put all of that energy into creating and correcting your own. Okay. I'll say that. There's a time and a place for everything. And I've said this 1,000 times. I'm with all of that left hand magic, but I believe it's a time for that. If the time doesn't call for that, don't play with that. That's not to be tinked with. Though you don't play with that. You don't enter into that unless it calls you, unless it's called for. Otherwise, stay neutral. Stay right here. You don't lean too far to the left. You don't lean too far to the right. You stay right here. And whichever side calls you, that's where you go. If a situation calls for the left, lean to the left. If it calls for the right, lean to the right. You don't stay in either. You don't stay in the dark, but you also don't stay in the light. You stay neutral. You handle the wax and you come right back to that neutral point. Okay. I think I've actually spoke about everything that I had written down, and I did it under an hour. I'm 46 minutes in. Yeah. Just right off my dome, though, I wanted to talk about getting understanding about sigils and how important they are, and not just sigils. Sigils and signs and things that you can draw that you can power, that'll help you do whatever you are trying to do. Sigils are very, they're powerful, especially if you know how to activate them. But this is what I'm starting to see. I have to make sure I say certain things correctly, because I don't ever want anybody to misinterpret what I say. Let me explain. Okay. A lot of things that we are being taught and shown now is to purposely detour us from using it, or to purposely detour us from doing it. Okay, I'll just use this ink pen. Social media, may begin to ostracize this pen. This is a bad thing. Don't do this. There's evil connected to this. Don't use this pen. Whole time they using the pen. Why they don't want you using the pen? Why they demonize the pen when in behind closed doors, in the darkness, in the hidden, they use this pen. They praise this pen. Do you get what I'm saying? So stop thinking that everything that they say is wrong and evil and demonic. Stop believing that. Do your own research. Get your own understanding. Okay? Some of the things that they are telling us not to do is our shit. We are supposed to do it. It's us. It's ours. Okay? And they've been siphoning our energies and our ancestors' energies and our God and goddess energies out of it for their own purposes. But telling you, don't use it. Don't do it. Don't believe in it. And if you do, your head gonna spin around 4 times and you gonna bark. Old dumb shit. And that goes all the way back to me saying, stop being fearful. Stop being afraid. Everything that the enemy is afraid of already resides in us. They are afraid of people like me and people like you. Because if you're watching this video, you've got to be magical, especially if you're still here. Matter of fact, if you are still here, thank you. May you get all this time and energy back. Okay. So be very, very, be intentional. Be intentional. I'm going to leave this video by saying be intentional. Everything you do should be intentional. Don't do nothing loosely. Be intentional about everything that you do over yourself and over your family. Okay? But mostly over yourself. Because you really can't change and save and help and, nobody else. But you can be a pillar of inspiration. You can be a pillar of inspiration. People can look at you and not necessarily mimic you, but you can be that lead by example, okay? You can most definitely be that. You're only responsible for the children that you brought into this realm. You're not responsible for your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your grandmama, your granddaddy. You're not responsible for them. You're only responsible for you and the souls that you brought in. That's most definitely truth for mothers. Stop worrying about what them daddies don't do. It's always mama's babies. Always mama's babies. And mamas, when y'all drop the ball, you feel it. A bad mother. A bad mother. What my spirit just told me to say, I'm not going to say. Because I know that was a dark thought. And I'm not going to share that. But I'm just going to say a bad mother has no room here in this realm, okay? If you're going to have children, if you're going to allow your body to be the incubator of a soul that wants to come into this realm, you must mother it, okay? Your karma, your life, your slates depend on it, not the child. Okay, not the child. Now, the child will reap terrible benefits from a terrible mother, but guess what? That child's going to grow up, and that child is eventually going to get its own thoughts and understandings. It's going to get its own free will. Okay, and hopefully it'll grow up and out and past what you didn't do or what you did do that was wrong. But you won't live it down, and you will have a terrible life. None of the fruits of your labor will grow. Okay? You won't have access to some of the things that women need here in this realm. You won't have access to it because you dropped the ball. You failed. Okay? You failed at being a good parent, a good mother. Okay? So anyway, in all you get understanding, y'all. Okay? Get understanding. I hope this was a helpful message, and I hope you got something out of it. I hope you understood everything that I just spoke on. I wanted to end it with a reading, to be honest, but I don't want this reading to be long because I know people lose sight and interest when videos are too long. I didn't even want it to be as long as it is now. But it did, and I think that this was enlightening. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. DM me if you need to. You can also email me at bastetsbliss@yahoo. Y'all tap into who you are and what you are and begin to move in there. 2023 is going to call for you to come out of your human self and be more in your spirit. Okay? 2023 is not going to play with none of us. It needs you to surpass this and begin to move in that ethereal energy. Okay? You know, you hear preachers say it, you hear, people say it, period. But I know specifically, my pastor, when I used to go to church, would say this all the time, that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, right? And that that is so the truth. And with that being said, you can navigate this realm if you begin to move in your spirit. Okay? Move in your spiritual self. Find you. Not what your mama named you. Not the name of the family that you're trying to keep alive. find you and begin to move in that energy, dress in that energy, talk in that energy, learn you. Okay? Not the who that the world had made you, not the who that your family told you got to be, not the who that everybody thinks you are. The you that you know you are deep down inside. Bring him, her to life. Bring it to life. Because until you do, until you honor that side of you, you're never going to feel fulfilled. You're never going to feel aligned. You're going to always feel disembobulated. Okay? So again, I thank you all for watching this vid. I may come on after this and do a reading. You'll see it. If y'all see a reading pop up, you know that, I did it. But this is where we part. I thank you for staying here with me. Again, if you have any questions, Instagram, just DM me, leave them in the comments, or hit me up on the email. I will be delighted to assist you if I can. Have a beautiful rest of the year. If I don't come on before the new year to wish you guys a happy new year, I'm wishing you a happy new year right now. Go in to 2023 intentional, okay? Mwah. Namaste.